Hello. So, want to spend a little bit of time talking about the post lab for this week. We're going to see something that we haven't done before, where we're going to use computers to do calculations for us. So you collected a lot of data in this lab. So you collected you measured the standard solution, right? So you got information on the standard solution. And then you also collected data on a bunch of trial test tubes. So these were equilibrium mixtures where you collected. So there's 4 of those, E1, E2, E3, E4, right? So we did it kind of in the 2 parts. You did analyze the single test tube, the standard, and then the 4 similar test tubes, E1, 2, 3, and 4. And so each of these trials, the goal is to take this measured absorbance and information on basically how we prepared the solutions, take that information and get the value for the equilibrium constant for the reaction that we're analyzing. And so that's going to take some doing. So if we go down to the post lab, the idea is basically questions 1 through 4. This is the process to determine the value of Kc based just on the E1 test tube. So it's a lot of work. And you also want to do this analysis for E2, E3, and E4. The thing is, it's going to be the exact same kind of calculations, just with different numbers. So my idea here with the post lab is you will do the calculation, you'll walk through it for E1 based on your measured numbers. And you need to show your work for all that and show all that kind of stuff and the equations that we're using that are given in like the lab and stuff. But you don't need to do those calculations for E2, E3, and E4. We want those numbers though, because we want to analyze them down here. You can see this. So what we can do is you see there's this Google Sheets application. So if you open this in a new tab, or just open it, and we come in here, it looks like Excel. This is just basically Google, so it's online, but it's just a spreadsheet system. And what we want to do here is use this to do our calculations. So we can't do this right now. This was basically made by, you'll see B, that's my kind of school email. So I'm in my kind of personal email now here, and it tells me that I can't edit anything. It can't really tell, but I promise I'm trying to type, and it won't let me edit anything. So what you want to do is go up to top file, make a copy, and then wherever. You will need to create a Google account for this. So if you have your Google account, okay, you made a copy. Voila. You'll now see up top, it says really lock it like I can on Excel. So you're going to be putting in information over on this side. You'll note I've labeled it standard solution. So this is information about your standard solution. So in reference to the lab handout, that was that first single solution that we did. So the measured absorbance goes in right there. And the calculation that you need to do for the FESEN STD. So you see this subscript, subscript labels, basically STD that I'm using. That kind of underscore STD means it's like a subscript. So you plug in those numbers. Those are just numbers you type in. So those, once you type those in, that's done. Once that's in, that's going to be the same all throughout the entire process. So then what we want to do is analyze our particular solution. So that's where this comes in. So we're going to analyze. So for your post lab, for questions 1 through 4, you already analyzed E1, hopefully. And so E1 had a recipe for how you made it, and then it had a measured absorbance. So this recipe for how you made it, that goes in these top columns right there. So that would be 5. You'll see I already put it in for it. So 5, 2, 3. So that's why you put in 5, 2, 3, the milliliters. And then the absorbance, that's going to be what you measured. So you need to have measured this value, and then you type that in here. And so say make it 0.2, you can see these numbers over here change. So these numbers over here change. It's the iron initial, SCN minus initial, the FeSCN2 plus equilibrium, and then the iron equilibrium and SCN minus equilibrium. So these are the computed values. If you look up top here, you can see that these are computed values. They have some sort of calculation that is basically the computer's doing for you based off the numbers you're putting over here. So again, this is that standard solution. You just put in these numbers once, and then once you say, hey, I want to analyze E1, we come over here, we take the E1 numbers from this row, we take the measured E1, we put all of those values in right here. Then you can take the KC, you want to take, that's the computed number that you care about. Then you want to do E2, here's the numbers for E2, here's your measured absorbance, E3, E4, so on and so on. So that's the general idea of how you're going to use this. So for E1, just the E1, you need to show your work right here on everything. But I'll tell you right now, you can check your work. The answers are all right here. So you can at least check your answers. These values that I'm computing along the way, I'm showing you all of that. I just cook in to the KC. But for E2, E3, and E4, you don't need to show any work. You can just put the kind of the recipe information and your absorbance, and then all the KCs are going to spit out. So all of that information will be in there. So I've tried this idea of doing this analysis. I've tried this kind of some different ways. This is an updated, slightly form. So hopefully this one works. If you have any questions about how to use it, I'm happy to help. Or if you need, if you don't have a Google account and you need an alternate form, I can also help you with that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that is going to do it. Good luck. I hope you enjoy it. I promise you'll see it's a lot of work to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and just repeating those same calculations with different numbers is kind of a waste of time. That's what computers are really, really good at doing, the same calculations over and over and over again. So you just put in the different kind of recipe information, and then it sorts, it does all the processing for you and gets that KC value. That way you don't have to calculate it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck. Have fun. I hope this is kind of fun or new or something like that. It's a little different seeing some of the power of calculators or computers. But otherwise, take it easy. Have a good one. Bye-bye.